But welcome to the Baron's Hideout podcast. I'm your host Dustin,
And I'm your co-host Aaron.
and today we have a very special guest, SkorpionBLS, who we will actually just kind of let you take it away from right here if you want, Scorp, and let everybody know what you do and where you are and whatever you want to say. We are not censored here, so anything you want to say, go right ahead, man.
Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm a drum streamer on Twitch primarily. My Twitch is twitch.tv/SkorpionBLS with a K. I play drums and talk about sensitive topics, and I don't know. It's pretty. A lot of drummers on Twitch are very clean and professional, and I go out of my
Yeah,
way
I
to
would
be
say
opposite.
so.
Makes it fun though.
Yeah,
I like the face paint and all the.
I love theatrics, so that's
Yeah, we do too. I mean, we're horror fans over here, so you know, we love all that shit.
I remember watching one of your streams. You were wearing, I think you were wearing a dress, and you
I
were like,
did
"Oh,
do,
talking
yeah.
about how comfy it was."
It was comfy, honestly. Like I should buy more dresses.
Do it, man.
But yeah, I like being the black sheep of the drum community.
That's awesome.
And I think that doing that and just being very okay with who I am has helped me build a really awesome community. I love drum streaming, and I don't know. I kind of get to combine all the things I'm passionate about. I get to talk about the things I care about and believe in openly, and I get to play music, and I get to hang out with awesome people. So it's super awesome. I love Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, your community is amazing. I think I discovered you through Matt, I think.
Yep.
And then I came over and you just blew me away. And also seeing like your progression over the course of, it hasn't even been like a full year yet, but like what, like 7 months, give or take?
January will be a year drum streaming. I was game streaming before that for about 6 months, but I hated that.
But yeah,
Just
like
wasn't.
just your overall, how you play now, how your whole like kit sounds now, everything, and just how your community reacts to you and everything is really, really good. And also I know that you were going through some hardships not that long ago with you know, mental health and everything, and like Aaron also suffers with like some pretty big mental health stuff, and we're always very big advocates for that because we know how hard it is, and you know, life sucks a lot of the time and shit happens, and that's another reason why I really like the drum stream community and also the horror community, because both of them balance both of those things very, very well, and everybody's like super supportive, and like, your community is ridiculously supportive of you, and it's awesome to see that.
They're crazy. I don't know what's wrong with them. Like the entire time I was gone, I just had a really bad anxiety spiral to the point where I stopped being able to function. I couldn't do like normal daily tasks for a while, and this happened to me before.
I've been
Um,
there.
But yeah, everybody was super supportive and reached out like all the time. And then when I came back, I was like, it's scary to be away from Twitch for 2 months, man. It's like when I come back, like, is anybody even gonna care? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard not to think that, but like, it's pretty much just business as usual since
Yeah,
I've come back.
we're there, man. We're there to support you, even if we're only in there for a couple of minutes. We're lurking the whole time. It's
Oh, dude,
we're
I
always
love
there.
lurkers. That's how I watch the majority of the stuff I watch on
Same.
Twitch. It's just
like just popping every now and then, saying hi, and then it's like I'm gonna do stuff in the background and then have you do some other stuff. So yeah.
There's a lot of times that I won't chat just because I don't want to draw attention away from the streamer. So a lot of the time when I'm in, somebody's stream, I just don't say anything.
Yeah, I feel that.
You understand it from a streamer's perspective, so yeah.
Yeah, it would get annoying to me if like somebody came into my chat, they're like, "Oh my god, this guy's here," and then it's just like
And it's like,
not
guys, I'm right here.
not like I'm super popular or anything, but there are certain places I go and people just like I don't know. It feels weird. I'm not used to people I don't even know how to put it. Just people like, I guess, admiring the things I do. I think it's
Yeah, having people like look
Just-
up to you.
And connect
Yeah.
with you through like something you love. It's nice. It's a
Yeah,
nice feeling.
it's definitely a crazy feeling. Like we've had that a couple of times here on the podcast, especially with like directors of movies and stuff who
Oh yeah.
reach out to us like, "Hey, you reviewed our movie. Can we talk to you?" So we have someone in the works right now that we might be getting a really cool interview for. So it's like that, and then also like smaller people. Like I'm on Twitter a lot in the horror community, and there's always people up there reaching out to me, and like there's people over there that I look up to too.
Right.
And it's really crazy to see everybody just kind of come together and be one most of the time and show support to everybody. And I feel like that's what it's like on Twitch too, with all the drum streamers. Like everybody is so connected on there, it is ridiculously crazy.
Everybody's got each other's backs. You take care of each other.
Yeah, and it's not that toxic. I mean, there's a couple of them that's just like I want to stay away from, just because like going in their chats are really bad. But for the majority, everybody on there is very level-headed, pretty clean, except for you, which I really dig because you stand out a lot more from all the other ones. And I love your personality, and I love
the high energy of the like the streams.
Yeah,
just,
it's great.
It would be weird to me to like it wouldn't be my personality. And I did this at first because I was nervous about people watching me play drums, because that's something that like I've played gigs for like churches and stuff, but it's not.
Oh really? I couldn't picture that.
I played for a church for like 6 years. That's the majority of my drumming like experience as far as like playing gigs. But when it's just you and there's 3 different camera angles, it's really weird. And it took me a while to get used to it, but the more I do it, the more I feel like I just try to keep evolving and keep doing something different. So like anytime I take time away, when I come back, it's like I have to improve the stream in some way. And I want to change the way I look, and I want to just do something different. So it's like I kind of combine like my love of it. Horror definitely plays a part. Like horror movies and my love for that kind of stuff plays a part. Like if you watch the promo videos I make, like
definitely.
Yeah, that's heavily inspired by like loving horror movies and just like wanting to be. I don't know. Like I want to be different. I want to be as much me as possible, and that kind of stuff is like what I love to do. So I just go all out and hope that people don't think it's weird.
No, I love it.
That's the most important part, is you're enjoying it yourself, and you get to be yourself and express yourself, and if people, don't like that, then they don't have to watch your stream. But, it's good that you've got, you get a connection with, people who are, have the same interests. And
it's awesome. I love the people that come to hang out that are there all the time. Anybody that I love getting new people, and I always think that like I'll watch somebody stream. Like Maddie Rose is a good example. I went into her stream. I was a fan of her for a while, and then I raided her one day, and I was like, she's gonna hate like what I do, because she's like, I'm gonna come to your stream. I was just like, it's not for everyone, and I like it that way. It's definitely made my growth path slower than a lot of other people, but
that's okay.
But it's more worthwhile. You probably get more loyal fans,
It feels more fulfilling. Like even if if I'm streaming to like, I don't know, not very many people, like I don't care about that. I know that if I keep doing what I'm doing, my channel will grow. And
definitely is growing though. Like every day it seems like you're getting more and more people in there, and it's good.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked at how it is growing, but
especially after having that break too,
Yeah,
but this goes to show
being away that long is terrifying for Twitch. Like just like for anything, any social media, like even if it was like at YouTube or whatever, it's like it's hard to come back from.
Yeah.
It was how obsolete everything becomes so fast nowadays. It's crazy. It's scary.
That's for sure.
Sorry, people will lose interest and find other stuff to watch.
Oh yeah, I swear people's attention spans would just shrink every year. With each generation, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
But
how you liking the Liquid Death?
I love Liquid Death. It's the best thing ever.
He talks about it like all the time. I see him. He's like, dude, you have gotten me addicted to this. You've helped me get away from soda. I'm like, that's actually amazing. Because that's something that Aaron and I have been trying to do. I did have a can in here somewhere
One right there.
that I think I was drinking. Yeah, so I have the still. Yeah, I have a still water one here, but I know you've been really digging the sparkling because you like to put your Mio in it to kind of replicate
I love Mio.
to replicate the soda aspect. So that's a really good way to get yourself off it.
I need to start drinking more of the sparkling.
I'm a fiend for Mountain Dew. I
Orange
had that
soda
since
for
I was-
me.
Oh yeah, orange is good too. So I found like this Mio that's Mountain Dew flavored, and I just put it in that. And it's like
Absolutely awesome.
it tastes like Diet Mountain Dew, but it's it's fine.
Yeah,
Close
it's
enough, right?
it's better than the real thing 'cause
Yeah.
you're not pumping yourself with so much sugar and everything, you know.
Yeah, and that's a big thing with anxiety and depression. It's so easy to gain weight. Like 2 months of sitting on the couch and just eating food that's going to make me comfortable is like
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
fucking sucks. So when I came back and started streaming again, I'd get like 2 hours into a stream and be like, fuck, man, I have to play like this song that has blast beats in it. Then I gotta play Iron Maiden. And I'm just like, I'm wrecked. So yeah, it was tough coming back, but like I feel like I'm finally starting to get to the point where I'm not struggling as much. The last 2 streams I did have been good. Like I'm tired now because today was pretty intense, but it's not it's definitely improving quick. But yeah, dude, I need to fucking lose weight.
I'm
Yeah,
with you there.
we both need to as well. We're always talking about going to the gym,
It's
and
the
we just
friggin'
never
pandemic,
do it.
man.
That too, yeah. 2020, I think I gained like 40 pounds. or
Oh
something.
yeah, I'm probably at the heaviest I've been in a long time.
Same.
I
So-
definitely am. I think I'm like I'm either 240 or 250.
Yeah, I'm right around there too.
I'm usually like ideally I should be around like 180.
Hmm
Yeah, same. Same.
Right.
But yeah, so a little bit of background on what you do, and of course everybody knows what we do. We like to review horror movies and put on guests, even though they're not like in the horror community. I mean, I've had some comments about that before, of people who like watched previous or listened to previous episodes, like, hey, you don't actually have people in the horror community on your podcast. I'm like,
Oh.
and so I'm bringing what we like to do and what we're trying to do, especially coming for it becoming like the new year soon, is to bring on anybody that likes a horror movie. You want to come on and talk about it. You don't have to be a somebody to come on here, you know. So for anybody who is listening, either now or on the episode later on, if you are someone who likes a specific movie and you're like, hey, I want to come on and talk about that, like what we're doing tonight with Scorpion. We're actually doing 2. We're going to be kind of tearing them apart and seeing which one's better. In my opinion, I like both of them, but we'll dive deeper into that in a few minutes. But yeah, anybody who wants to come on and just like shoot the shit or whatnot and just talk about a film, we're all here for it. You can reach out to me. My DMs are always open. And we do have a bunch of socials, but I think we can probably just leave those in the chats and whatnot, and I'll put that in the description so we're not taking like 20 minutes to go over those. The main thing right now is to make sure you guys are going and following Scorpion on pretty much all of his socials, and especially on Twitter. And because you're pretty much more active on Twitter, right?
I don't.
Than you are on Instagram?
I cycle. I need to get back to. I haven't uploaded to Instagram in forever, but yeah, I guess I'm active on Twitter. But Twitter is different. I treat like Instagram like just a place to like promote my music. Twitter, I'm a lot more candid. And I don't know. I follow me wherever. I
Yeah,
don't
so
know,
do that. Definitely Twitter, but the main one is his Twitch, because you're live like what, 4 or 5 days a week now?
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, I had to cut it back because I'm in college too. So yeah, 3 days a week. I do 4 hours, so I'm on 12 hours a week. So
All
it's
right.
easy to catch me. And I'm always Friday and Saturdays are always days that I'm on too. So
Awesome. So yeah, go check him out. And for today's theme, we are doing the 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus.
The 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So before we start diving into the nitty gritty of everything, Scorp, what is your overall favorite? Like, which out of both of these, which ones would you find yourself going to watch more?
I've seen the 2003 version more times, but if I had to pick between the two, I probably couldn't, because I think they're both just supreme examples of how to do horror the right way, but in different ways, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think they're the best horror movie.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, especially the 1974 one, just because of how crazy it was and shocking it was for the audience back then, especially from all the things that I have read and I've heard, and I actually went and like rewatched on Shudder Joe Bob's review of this, and he was going into like a lot of details of it. But one thing I always heard that I can believe that happened was like the very beginning with the intro with the voiceover, and then the shots of the camera of people literally walking out before the movie even started.
I've never seen that. I need to see that. I haven't seen, like, I've never really watched documentaries about it. I remember parts of one that I might have watched where one of the, I think maybe the actor that played Leatherface's child was on the set for the dinner scene or something.
Yeah, I think I've heard that too. Yeah.
And he was terrified of it. That's really the only thing I can remember. But yeah, I think in the 2003 remake, the actors were not allowed to see Leatherface except for their scenes to try to make it more.
Yeah, which is actually something that a lot of horror movies are doing, like now, which
You get a
I
more
think is
genuine
good.
reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like when the remake of It came out, they're like the kids cannot see Pennywise until that scene, and that was
good
a
movie,
very
too.
good choice.
Yeah, that was a
Best way
really
to
good
do it.
remake.
But Aaron, what about you?
Well, so I've seen them both. I've seen the original multiple times. I just watched the remake though, and it was very good. I like how it sticks to the original plot.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah,
it
for the
does.
most part. I mean, there's some little changes. You notice that right off the bat in the beginning of the movie. But if I had to choose just one, it'd probably be the 74, only because, like, it's more, I'm not going to say simplistic, but, like, it leaves more to the imagination as to what's happening, you know what I mean? Which is
Yeah.
even more terrifying than, you know.
Yeah, it's not super gory. A lot of things are left to the imagination,
You know,
definitely.
yeah.
There are a few scenes in which there's blood, especially like
But it's pretty tame, though, compared to, like, that, you know, a lot of.
oh,
Like,
that's
yeah.
the remake. Oh, for sure.
Very.
The remake is just within like the first like 10 minutes,
You get
the
some
girl blows her
blowing head
brains
off,
out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, damn, man. And the original is like, yeah, you had some very unsettling scenes, especially when they pick up the hitchhiker, and he's like all like crazy and
He starts,
everything.
like, slashing his wrists and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell, man? But for me, I would definitely go for the 1974 one. So I think we're all going
Basically on the
towards
same
the
page.
original more than the remake,
But
which is something that, as much as I love the remake, I just feel like there's a lot of times when there's a original versus remake, Aaron and I always lean towards the original more. But
you can't beat the classics.
yeah.
You really can't.
But
I couldn't pick one. I think the original, I guess, for me they would come like as a draw. Like I couldn't say
It's-
that one's better than the other because they're better for different reasons.
Yeah, they both have their like reasons for being good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first one has the benefit of, I think the first one is better for having less gore in it.
Mhm.
definitely.
Because the movie's not about, it's not as much about Leatherface killing people as it is about, like, they kind of set it up as like this true crime event type of
Yeah.
thing.
Almost
it's
like a
a-
documentary.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
a
very
lot,
documentary
it's a
like.
lot like that. And I think like the lack of gore makes it better. Like the couple times you actually see gore, I can't even, there's the hammer where he kills
Yeah.
the guy with
Oh,
the
yeah.
hammer, which is awesome. That is such a good scene.
Yeah, it's a very
Mhm.
iconic scene. There's a lot of iconic scenes
He
in
just
this
drags
movie.
him behind the door.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's just disgusting. Like it's
And
so-
when,
It's like they don't use the gore at quite as much as, you know, a lot of movies would, but they use it effectively, you know,
yeah,
when it's needed.
Yeah. And
And
when
I
They
love
would
it.
do it.
it's Francis who gets like chainsawed when they're like getting the flashlight and they're going out to find the crew at the middle of the night, and he's like, hey, shine the light over here, and Leatherface is right there, and he's just like
I
going
love
at
that.
him. It's
If
so
you-
good.
that still frame. If you pause like right there, it's really funny. Like the way Leatherface looks.
Yeah.
It cracks me up for some reason.
It's also really cool not, I don't know, cool, but like interesting to know that Toby, I think, did like, Joe Bob was saying he did like almost like 800 edits to this film, and he was always calling like the ratings boards to see, because he wanted this movie to be like seen by all ages. So that's
What?
why
Oh,
why
man.
there's not a lot of like blood and gore. So he was always on the phone with the ratings boards, like, hey, so I want to hang this girl on a meat hook. So if I don't show blood or her being impaled,
Can I make it PG?
is that gonna help
What?
me getting my rating lower?
What
And they're
is
like,
the
well,
rating?
yeah, it'll help.
I mean, it's still gonna be terrifying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
any
yeah.
children who watches it, but
Yeah, it's funny.
Do you guys know what the rating ended up being?
Rated R.
all right.
Oh, okay, it was
R.
okay.
Yep. That was before like it started getting like really really hard. Like nowadays, like there's
Yeah,
a lot
well-
more edits and stuff that need to like happen, and like they'll hit things harder. But back then, since the ratings weren't really established for that long yet,
Get movies like Tourist Trap that are PG-13, but you know,
Yeah,
you've seen
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie, you know how gory it is.
yeah, yeah. And like back then, even like there was G movies that would have like nudity and like swearing and
You
stuff
can
in
get
it.
away with a lot more back then.
Yeah, it's very very crazy, but I enjoy both of these films. I mean, yes, the new one is very chaotic and just all over the place. I feel like even with the plot, it's like there's so many things happening at once compared to the original. It's like a little bit more straightforward. Like there's a group of friends who are here to see an old house because their father, I think it's the father who passed away,
Yeah,
or like the grave was like dug up or whatever because there was like a bunch of
it
like
was, it was like a series of grave robbing.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
the opening scene is like in the cemetery, and they're talking about, and that's awesome too because like the premise of the character Leatherface is, I think originally the idea came from the director who was standing in line at a hardware store and saw a display with chainsaws on sale, and he was like, "Man, I'd love to grab one of these chainsaws, just cut this line down so I get through it quicker." So
Yeah.
that was the idea, and then they used a lot of inspiration from Ed Gein.
Yep, a lot.
The grave robbing aspect is super cool in the first movie. I kind of wish they would have kept that because in the remake they're just going to a Leonard Skinner concert.
Yeah,
So
with
it's
a
a little
bunch of
less-
weed.
yeah, it's a little less ominous in that way.
Yeah.
But I think the remake does a better job of making things stressful. Like the movie is stressful because there's so
Yeah.
much
For sure.
but the first one just has like this eerie, like sludgy, ominous feel to it compared to the other one.
Very gritty, and like obviously the cameras back then would have a lot of grit, and I love
Authentic.
yeah, I like film grain on movies but not on games.
I agree.
So
yeah.
like this movie is like film grain porn. Literally, because it's so grainy and it adds to the craziness and like creepiness of everything, and that the sound design is very very good in 74. In 2003 it's like it's still good, but it's kind of like we kind of like heard stuff like that before, but back then in 74 things like that weren't really done, and not being like, especially with the first killing as well, with the hammer with the
Yeah.
door slamming. There's no music there at all. It's just him
You just
looking in there and like, is there anybody here? I want to get some gas. So it's very like suspenseful, and you're like, what is gonna happen? There's nothing like a camera setting on one thing for you to realize that, okay, there's gonna be a jump scare here. It's literally he just walks up, gets grabbed, bashed, and then door slams.
just so quick.
Yeah, and then in the
You know-
remake, they tried to do that, but it was way more violent and crazy, and there was a lot more music going on. So, and they tried doing the door slam, but it wasn't as great in my opinion.
Did they replicate the scene from the beginning when she? Yeah, they changed the names, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. It just a heads up, but
I don't remember any of the characters' names.
It's okay.
I'm terrible with names. But like that scene, that like famous scene where he comes out, she starts running out of the house, and he like wraps his arms around her.
Oh,
and
when he
just drags
grabs her,
in. Yeah.
they did a little bit of a shot like that, especially the walking shot of like looking at her ass the whole time. They did that,
Yeah.
but I don't
It's
know if they
horrible.
went to the extent of grabbing and dragging her in. If they did, it was probably way more violent.
Yeah, but that was probably one of my favorite scenes in the original. When she's just, the way he's just so fucking like,
Yeah.
"Get over here, bitch."
Crazy.
But
Absolutely crazy.
I feel like they could have casted in the newer one a little better, because you can tell like that's made in the 2000s. Like I could have gotten like I feel like costume wise, I guess maybe like give it a little more 70s esque like.
Yeah, it's very especially Jessica Biel. She looks like she's in 2000 in the 2000s.
Yeah,
you know.
I know. I thought that too. Watching the remake, it didn't.
Like, I was just waiting for her to pull out a fucking iPhone and, like, start...
Yeah, I know, right?
It kind of had that more modern feel to
yeah.
it. They didn't nail that.
Which it works, because I feel like more modern horror movies now are more gory and, like, less, like...
For sure.
Yeah, so, but... they didn't do a bad job at all, though, in the movie. Besides, like, the few critiques.
Compared to, like, some other remakes, like, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Let's not talk about that one. This is pretty good. It holds up. You can definitely watch it again. Another one that I would say you could definitely go and watch as a remake is the Friday the 13th one. That's also a pretty good remake.
Honestly, as a kid, I think I watched the remake of Friday the 13th before I watched the original.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
The original is hard to watch now. It doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely some scenes it's just like, but it's still enjoyable.
Not only that, but with Jason's mom being the killer, I didn't know that, actually. I had seen other Jason movies before I saw the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So when I watched the original, like, because I'm big on origins, like, I want to know the backstory of the characters and, you know, what led up to whatever.
Same.
So when I went to watch the first one, I'm like, his mom's the fucking killer? Like, what? And the whole movie, you're waiting for Jason, and you get, like, 2 seconds of Jason at the end. Yeah.
But... Yeah.
I enjoy all those ones. I've watched them so many times, and like I'm kind of rewatching them now because I don't know if you watch Dead Meat on YouTube or anything, but he's doing like all the recounts of like Friday the 13th movies. So I'm now going through those again.
Those videos are great.
But my favorite is always going to be Halloween. It's the first horror movie I ever saw, and Michael just holds a special place in my heart, especially since you see all the masks. I know Aaron's kind of blocking them. Got all my masks behind me.
I love Michael Myers too, but the reason I love Leatherface more than Michael Myers is because Michael Myers just wants to kill you. Like, he just wants to stab you or crush your skull or choke you out or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Leatherface doesn't know anything else.
Leatherface wants to cut you up, put you on a meat hook, cook you for dinner, and wear your face. Like,
he's trying to survive.
he's
also,
just so much more brutal.
Yeah.
But Michael Myers is creepy as fuck too. Like,
oh, definitely. And I can't wait for Halloween Kills. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Did you see the most recent Halloween movie that came out?
Oh, the 2018 one? Yeah.
Yeah,
I have.
Was it good? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I have the mask right there.
Yeah,
it's really good. It kind of off topic from Texas, but yeah, it's pretty much they disregard everything after the first movie. So this is technically Halloween 2.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, so they don't even like worry about like her being in a hospital and everything. It's literally just 1 and now
2018.
2. Yeah.
Wasn't Jamie Lee Curtis in H2O as well?
Yeah, she was, but that's
So
not canon anymore.
Oh, that's
Nope.
weird.
Only 1 is canon and 2018, and this one's canon now. Everything else is just a mess.
H2O is actually my favorite.
That's a really good one. That's definitely one I would recommend people to go watch. Yes, definitely.
I think that's the best.
I always found myself going back to the 78 one though. The original, you just can't be that kill.
Of course, yeah. Of course,
like that, the kill where he impales the guy to the wall. Is probably one of my favorites of all time. Just
in the head tilt.
Yeah, and it just looks at him, just like.
I love that. Yeah, that's a classic. Like,
and there's barely any blood in that movie besides the beginning and the end.
And just
so
the
it's
score
kind of same
is so
as
effective.
it's the same as like Texas. There's barely any blood in this movie. I mean,
but it still scares the shit out of you.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you get it. Yeah, I guess it's kind of the same because you get it in the beginning with the hitchhiker, a little bit in the middle when like there's some like brains being bashed in. But it's very, very quick, and it's really towards the end is when it gets really bloody.
While we're still talking about Halloween, though, and Texas,
I'm fine talking about whatever. I mean, I love all this shit.
But, like, I am noticing some, like, similarities in the sense, like, when Rob Zombie recreated Halloween, he made it way more violent and got way more deep into the backstory, which is kind of, you know, what they did here, too, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess that's what remakes it for, but,
I might differ from you guys on this, but I didn't like the Rob Zombie Halloween.
I like the first one,
one's
not
okay.
the second one. The second one was just like, are you
went off the rails.
literally on an acid trip right now?
I think the first movie went too far into the Michael Myers lore.
Almost
with him
right
being a
into
kid.
it, yeah.
Yeah, it's too much. Like there's just way too much.
They try to
Like,
cram too much in one movie. Where
part of the mystique of Michael Myers is not really knowing why.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
So like to give him so much motive and like a psychological reason why he's a serial killer just kind of takes away from the character, I think.
But if you're watching it as like a separate movie, like separate from Halloween, you know, it's
Yeah, I
kind
can
of
see.
fun. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a cool
fun
movie.
watch, yeah.
It's a good.
It's not bad. It's
Yeah.
just,
But
it's
Yeah, but I'm always
non-canon.
gonna like the original more than
Yeah.
any remakes or anything. So,
oh yeah.
and we love Rob Zombie as an artist, but some of his movies just aren't the greatest. Especially like Lords of Salem. Could not really get into that one. You know, it was shot in Salem, and Aaron and I love going to Salem, especially me. We live very, very close, and we will be at Salem Horror Fest this year, and we will be covering all of that, and I cannot wait. So if anybody is nearby, or Scorpion, even if you take a trip over here, please go to Salem.
I
Let's
would
do it.
love to go to Salem.
Let's go.
Never been.
Please go. Plan a
Would
trip
love to.
and just spend like a couple of days there. You're gonna love it. It's great. Everything
Right.
there is amazing. Everybody's super nice. It's great, and it's really clean there. So that's
Yeah.
another thing. I hate going to places that everybody talks highly of, and you get there, it's like, wow, this place is fucking dirty.
Don't
Like-
come to Pittsburgh.
Like going to New York, I'm like, oh, I always want to go to New York. I'm like, wow, this place is fucking dirty.
yeah, people are assholes.
It's like, no, I don't want to go there.
So wear comfortable shoes if you go to Salem. There's a lot of cobblestone.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But back on the topic of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is there any parts of either of these movies that stand out to you the most? Like, if there's a scene that's like, that really got me the first time I saw that? Or is there something that's like, okay, this could have been worked on a little bit better, but I still appreciate it?
My favorite scene has to be when the kids are in the house and they ask the guy in the wheelchair to use the phone, and he doesn't want to let them in. So, which is weird because like he's kind of like the trap for Leatherface, but maybe they were going to use the sheriff to catch them later. I don't know. Which the sheriff character is fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah, in the 2003 one? Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
remake. Yeah, he's nuts.
So my favorite scene is like she distracts him, the girl distracts him, Jessica Biel distracts the guy in the wheelchair, the other guy sneaks into the house, they find out he's in the house, and then the guy in the wheelchair tries to get them out or whatever. And he just has the cane and he's just pounding on the floor. And,
Yeah.
they're just looking at him like, what the fuck? And then Leatherface comes out with a chainsaw roaring, and it's just like, holy shit. Like that's my favorite scene in the whole movie, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty suspenseful.
Yeah, that was cool. Like but that's another point for the original as well, because you don't really see the chainsaw until later in the movie.
Yeah, it's like
It builds up
halfway
to it.
through. Halfway through is when we get like our first kill.
They build up to that, and I like that about the first one. But also, like just seeing like the main difference between the two movies, I think, is not only the atmosphere of what's going on, but also the Leatherface character. Because in the original, when Leatherface doesn't have his chainsaw, he's kind of like a guy that anybody could just beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
He's
It's not like Michael Myers where you can get stabbed 10 times and
Yeah, he's not that in the first movie. He's just a crazy fucking.
you know,
He
he saws his own
manipulated a
leg
lot,
off,
too.
you know.
his family manipulates him and makes him do shit, so that's why. And then like later on in the movies, it gets a little bit more serious, but he's still kind of a wimp. But definitely
Yeah.
in the remake, he will kill you. Like
In the
there's
remake,
he's
he's-
not gonna stop. He doesn't care. He'll use
Yeah.
anything to kill you. He'll use his hands.
Yeah.
Like
But,
he'll torture you. But yeah, definitely the 74 one, he's a little bit more tame.
he's got that like little brother vibe. Like he just listens to his brothers and like, or you know, and
Yeah.
But
And his dad's like yelling at him like
yeah,
constantly.
so something
and stuff.
tells me that he just like he got pulled into this whole cannibalistic, like obviously, but you know it's his family. But yeah, so
Yeah, I can
and
feel
then
that.
he didn't really
sure.
have a choice, but just embraced it, I guess. And
He's the killer. You know, he's the one that brings the food.
he brings the bread.
It's like, you gotta
Yeah.
do this if you want to be part of the family. No, otherwise you're gonna
worst scene-
starve.
My least favorite, I think the worst scene in the remake is I think Kemper is the guy's name. He's on a meat hook
Yes.
with a
Oh,
piano
yeah.
underneath him.
Yeah.
And Jessica Biel's trying to lift him off the hook, and then it ends up being, just kill me, I'm in so much agony, which I get. And it would have been a good scene if it was like, I don't know, like 4 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
just drug it out to the point where it almost became comical.
And she was doing everything wrong too.
Yeah.
Just like kept dropping him on him. It's like, oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like,
Now
no,
it's just
you're not
deeper.
sorry. Like, you're doing it. You know what you're doing. Find a different way to do it. There's so many things around you. You
It's
know.
like you're
Right.
walking to a brick wall and then just keep expecting a different thing every time you walk towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my least favorite part of it. But other than that, I think it was I don't know. Again, it's just a different movie from the original.
Yeah, it's
And I
it
think if
spins
you,
its own narrative, and that's what I
Yeah.
like. It's like
Yeah.
when people are doing a remake, don't do it like,
don't try to
the
replace
same
it.
thing over and over again. Just do something different. It's exactly what they did, especially the first 5 minutes with the hitchhiker, not the same hitchhiker, and she blows out her brains.
I like
and,
that
you
twist
know,
because that was
Yeah.
fucking weird. Like the
Yeah.
first time seeing it, it's like, what the hell?
And
is
the
going
way
on?
they like pan out through her fucking head.
yeah, that's a cool shot.
That was one of the best shots, like in horror movies, like period. Like I think that's one of the coolest.
Yeah.
things
Yeah,
I've
I
ever
think
seen.
I either heard or read somewhere that
They had to
the
film it a bunch of different times.
yeah,
Mhm.
because the director of photography was like, we need to get this down, so they did it for like, I think 40 or 50 takes before they finally got it, which is crazy, but it definitely paid off because that's a really cool shot.
I also heard
This-
that like they were filming like 36 hours at a time too for that movie. Like, I don't know, maybe it was the original.
It
I'm
was the
thinking of.
original
Yeah.
one, because when they were doing like
24-hour
24-hour days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
and they were like working so late that when they were in the buildings, I guess the food that they had there to actually feed people, that's not just like on display, was getting people sick because it was cooking in the heat because it was at like 104 degrees,
yeah.
and they were like
In
shooting
Texas,
all
like-
day. So I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
people getting sick and shit all the time. Oh man. But that's what it was like back then, when if you wanted to make a film, because this was an indie film. This wasn't like a big
was
budget.
Very
It was
low,
like
but I think
rendered
if it would have been big budget, it wouldn't have turned out as good too.
Yeah, and Toby Hooper he's great, and bless his soul, he's passed on, and a lot of the other good ones like Wes Craven is also gone. So many really good horror directors have started to pass away, and it's really sad. And Toby was definitely one of the ones I wanted to meet, but that's not gonna happen now, which is really sad. But it's okay. We have all his movies to watch now,
We can-
Oh, yeah, you're gonna kill me so I can go meet Toby Hooper. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, that budget was only $300,000 for this movie. The 74 one.
Oh wow,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
super low budget. I mean, that's a lot of money for back then.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, that's really
still.
low budget, and I know it was banned in so many places, and
the
there
UK
was,
for a while.
and I know they couldn't show it on TV for like 30 years because it was quote unquote too grisly for TV.
That's
So-
funny as hell because it's really not anymore.
No,
Wow.
compared to other stuff that they show, definitely they
Compared
put
to some of the stuff they put on TV now.
they will
Yeah.
show Chucky, who's like attacking a kid and kills a woman and throws her out of the window, but they won't show Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's
Right.
crazy,
Just the way some people.
Yeah.
But,
That's the ratings boards, you gotta love the corporate levels.
so I guess that's what happens when you have to think for millions of people.
Exactly. But Aaron, is there any other scenes in here that like stuck up to you other than when the girl's getting grabbed or anything like that?
We were talking about this one earlier, but the scene when they're at dinner and then they want the grandfather to kill the girl, and she's like over the bucket and he can't even lift the fucking hammer. He's just like all fucking
Yeah.
dusty and like he's like.
And he is quote unquote the best killer in the family.
Yeah.
It's great.
That was that would have been one of the scenes I didn't like about the original. Was like
Too comical.
that, yeah, and the super old like wasn't there a grandma too that was like
Yeah,
either
but I think
dead
she
or
was.
Yeah,
dead?
she was definitely dead upstairs because it was the grandfather and then the grandmother, and she was like she definitely dead.
It might as well just made the grandfather dead though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was kind of weird. Like I get the grandmother is there as a nod to the Ed Gein story, right?
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing with Psycho and his mom being dead in
Yeah.
He's pretending she's still alive. Like that's purely Ed Gein lore. But like the grandfather thing I thought was kind of off-putting. Like it wasn't really scary. It didn't really add anything.
It just kind of was just there, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was a little comical.
Definitely.
But yeah, it did seem a little out of place though. I feel like it didn't, like I said, didn't add anything to the story.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to make it seem like the whole reason why we have this family is to keep him alive, and he started this, so we got to do all this in his honor and everything. And obviously in the remake, they definitely didn't have any of that. It was more like, we're just a brutal family. We don't give a fuck. We're gonna kill you. Like I'm a cop, so I can do whatever the hell I want. So.
That was the coolest part about that. Not the coolest, but one of the cool things about the original is the remake is they're trying to get help, and then the police officer shows up, and you would think like, okay, this dude's gonna help us, and it's like that dude is basically trying to lure you back. And they do that in the original too, don't they? There's like a part where they go to like
they meet him at the mill.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna help you get out of here. And then he either drugs her or hits her. I can't remember.
But what got me though too is they were actually thinking logically when they were like, oh, meet the sheriff here, and they're like, what the fuck? Why isn't he just gonna come here? Which you don't see. People don't have common sense in horror movies, so like.
Okay, we'll go.
But yeah. But
the original, I also think. I think the female protagonist was much better than Jessica Biel. Like she's iconic.
Yeah, she's a true scream queen.
She was she in other movies too, or was she just?
I think that trying to remember. I think she might have only been in this movie. I think this one, I don't want to say messed her up enough, but I don't think she was in anything else. I could be completely wrong about that. Aaron's gonna look it up right now. We're getting IMDb up.
Yeah, because I feel like I that's another thing.
I remember hearing something about her not being in anything after. I might be wrong though.
Right.
Who was it?
It's in the original one.
Oh, the original.
Yeah, the 74 one.
I
forget her name. Damn. Like, with them changing the names of the family and the people for each movie really throws me off, because I can't just be like, oh yeah, this person. I have to be like, crap, which one is it?
I wonder why they would do that. That doesn't make a lot of sense either.
Yeah. I guess trying to just keep it fresh, maybe.
Also, the wheelchair character, I thought, I was kind of sad they didn't keep that.
Yeah, I noticed that right off the bat. I was like, why'd they get rid of the handicap?
Everybody hated Francis in the original. I think that's probably why they didn't want, because he was annoying.
But you need the annoying character, though,
He's whiny as shit. And one of the other things is, like, the guy who was playing Francis, I forget his name, he was actually in character like that the whole time, whether they were shooting or not. So everybody on set hated him so much. And they're like, I just wanted to fucking kill him.
Then it makes that much more satisfying when he gets killed.
Yeah.
Sally. Marilyn Burns.
Yeah, Marilyn Burns.
Right, let's see.
I could be wrong. Maybe she was in other stuff.
Texas Chainsaw. She was in a 2013 Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Oh, she came back for the Texas Chainsaw 3D.
And a 94 one.
So she was actually in another Texas Chainsaw?
Two of them.
Two
other ones?
94 is a new generation, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
next generation.
That was the first one I bought on DVD, and I was like, oh, this is going to be good. No.
That shit is
I shouldn't watch
weird.
it.
It's very
You should
weird.
watch it. Like, if I don't know if you partake in any type of drugs or anything, but if you got really stoned and watch it, it'd probably be good.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, Aaron likes his weed.
Yeah, it's a good movie to get stoned and watch. But if you're looking for like a serious, like, good horror movie, it's not.
Yeah.
I would have to say, other than like the two movies that we're talking about now for Texas that are good, the only other really good one is Texas Chainsaw 2. Just because of how batshit crazy it is, and Toby really embraced the batshitness in that, and it's really, really good. And it's comedy in it. It's definitely got a lot more blood in it. It's more gory, so it kind of lines up with like the newer Texas movies, and it just really ramps up everything, and it's just absolutely crazy. So that's another one that I go back to a lot, other than these two that I watch. But any other Texas ones, I don't really watch that much.
I thought the sequel to the remake was good. It wasn't as
The
good.
New Beginning. I think that's the one that's after that, right?
Yeah, and then I think it's New Beginning, and then 3D, which I didn't like 3D at all.
I don't remember watching 3D. I
I
might have
remember
skipped
when
over
3D
that.
was a thing. Like that was like
Yeah.
the selling
I
point
didn't
for so
watch
many
it.
movies.
I didn't watch it in 3D. I
No.
watched it in 2D, but like the plot is essentially one of Leatherface's relatives is trying to help Leatherface escape the situation he's in, kind of deal.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a prequel, right? I know
Yeah,
there's a prequel. It's like his kind of upbringing or whatever.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
lot. It's,
Debbie,
it's,
thank you so much for the resub.
Ooh,
And I just want to address everybody in chat right now too. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm sorry for not focusing a lot on chat right now. It's just I don't know. We're just really into this whole Texas talk. But does anybody in the chat who wants to add to the conversation, feel free. But thank
Well,
you guys so
think
much
of
for the
Texas.
support. Thank you so much.
Hi, Debbie. I love Debbie.
And hopefully everything is sounding and looking good for you guys as well. I will.
Hawk is also here. He says the original is really well shot. I think so too.
Yes, I would. Yeah, for the time that it was, and just especially the beginning with the whole like flashes and everything with those shots are really good. And also when is it, I think Pam is when the girl who runs in and then
Yeah.
gets grabbed after, when she runs in and falls on the floor and it's like all like the bones
Oh yeah.
and everything is really
Yeah.
cool. And apparently the person who was making all the props and everything, he went to like actual
Like
what is it, the people who dead things who
Oh, the
stuffed
coroners?
them.
Taxidermists.
Yeah, he went to those and like got like actual bones from like animals and stuff, and like I guess he also the
Oh, the armadillo.
yeah,
Yep.
he also
The armadillo is iconic, dude.
yeah, I guess he
Yeah.
stuffed that before, so he whatever it's
He
called.
just had it lying around. It's like, oh, why not use it for the movie?
The armadillo in the road after I think that happens directly after the cemetery scene where they're
Yup.
talking about the grave room. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole shot of like of the 74 one with the bodies in the beginning is so gross, and it really sets up for what this movie is trying to make you feel like is gross and dirty. And especially it's like that in the remake too, but
Not
they kind of do that with
They
it
just
being
do it
so
differently. Grotesque
this was
and
yeah,
dirty.
that, and also like that's during the time when all the movies and video games were so washed out and gray and
Mhm.
brown. So they kind of did that with that in the remake, but in the original it was really with the setting and the people that you're meeting in the beginning, like at the grave with the old people like drinking and like talking stupid shit, and then going to the gas station definitely makes you feel super dirty.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, we got some barbecue. I'm not gonna eat
Barbecue and
barbecue
gas.
No.
at a gas station. I don't
feel
care
like the
how
beginning-
hungry I am.
The
Yeah, I'm
opening of the 74 movie, I feel like you can smell it. Like
I
it's
know.
just-
Definitely, it's just like I don't want to, but I got to. You know?
it's so like they emphasize like the heat and like the flies being all over the
Mhm.
place.
Yeah.
Just like
So, ugh.
so gross. It just sets it up for like I watched the original shortly before the remake came out because my dad wanted to take me to see the remake. I'd never seen the original. All I knew about the original, I had gone camping with my mom and my uncle and my stepdad one time, and they were talking about it like around the fire, like just trying to spook each other, whatever. And my uncle Shane's like, "Yeah, dude, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like the scariest movie." And just the thought of the movie scared the shit out of me. I was like 7 years old. So I saw it when I was 12 for the first time, and it ruined my day. Like,
Wow.
it was just like I was 12 years old. I didn't know any better, and my dad bought it because it was like I don't know, it was an anniversary edition with like a tin, and all that stuff, like the steelbook version.
Oh, I kind of want to go and like collect all those. I've been on the hunt for like the box sets, like the really good Blu-ray or like 4K box sets that they've been releasing for like all like the old slasher series. And I was I think about 8 or 9 when my first horror movie that I saw was Halloween. And I
Me
mean
too.
that's pretty, young but also being 12 and seeing this movie, I think would mess me up a lot more than Halloween, just because of how much more gross and violent this
Aggressive
one
it
is.
I also watched it alone when I was
Oh,
home
that
alone.
makes it even worse.
So it was bad. I was like, dude, this is just a movie. And I had just watched all the Jason movies, but Jason doesn't have the same. See, that's the thing about Leatherface that makes me like him so much, is that like this shit could really happen, and things have
Yeah.
happened that are relatively close
Yep.
to this. Like, there's nobody walking around that's 8 feet tall that you can shoot, 100 times to send to space, and he's still gonna come back.
Yeah, I
But-
know, right?
But there could be a crazy ass hillbilly out there somewhere with a chainsaw eating.
Oh,
people.
for
Like,
sure. I'm sure there probably is somewhere, or maybe there was. It was never documented or like searched or anything like that.
right.
But yeah, it's just how realistic it is. I mean, to a certain extent, Michael could be real, but with we going into like even like the later ones with the whole like Thorn trilogy and shit like that, no. But just him as someone who just wants to brutally kill somebody just for the sake of killing somebody, yeah,
that
would-
happens every day.
yeah, it literally does. But yeah, I can see why Leatherface would be way more intimidating, just because he's more in your face. He will play with you. Michael will just kill you. Leatherface will play with you,
Oh, yeah.
skin you alive.
Wear your fucking face as a mask.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And if you guys do want to go visit the gas station and also the house, you can. They
Love to
turned
do
both of them
that.
into restaurants.
I thought the house. Okay, Knife Plug lives near the house in the original movie. But,
Dude, Knife Plug. I know you're in chat right now. I need to go and visit there. Tell me if it's good.
I think
I would
he said
love
they tore it down though.
Did they? No. Is that
Unless I'm-
recent then?
Unless I'm wrong about it, because I wanted to go there when it was there was like a B&B there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it got
When I-
moved.
To Kingsland?
Okay, so it's not destroyed. It's just moved. Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my heart just like freaking dropped. But I know that the gas station is a actual. I don't know if it's an actual gas station now, but it does serve barbecue there. Like, so you can go get barbecue at the original barbecue gas station.
Yeah, but like sometimes the small places usually are the best, though.
Yeah.
I get, but
Yeah,
mom and pop places.
When I have time and money and are able to go and visit all these iconic horror locations, I want to go and
The
do it.
Myers
Like,
house,
yeah,
or
the
Scream
Myers house is now a dentist office. So if you're going to go visit the original Michael Myers
You get
house,
your teeth cleaned too.
yeah, just go get an appointment with the dentist there, and you're good to go. And the Scream house, I think you can go
can-
there whenever, as long as you
You can stay there, can't you?
yeah, they hold like the parties there yearly. But I know if you reach out to the owners there, you can go and visit. But I don't know how expensive it is. But I would love to do that, and especially the Overlook Hotel. I mean, who doesn't want to go there?
Yeah,
And
right.
that's another one I want to go to.
I would like to go to the Amityville house. That
That would be a good one too. That's one I always forget about. That's a series that I need to go and revisit.
It's not great, other than like the first
No.
one. Actually, the remake for that was pretty good too.
That's
actually.
with Ryan Reynolds, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
it's really good.
I enjoyed that
was
one.
Early Ryan Reynolds too. That's like
yeah.
I don't even know what else he was big for at that point.
Not much. Maybe that comedy with the girlfriend or whatever. What the fuck is it called? Best Friends. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
When he's in, I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure what year it came out. It was definitely early 2000s. Is when
It
that
was
one.
around the time, because I think the Chainsaw remake inspired a bunch of that.
Yeah,
a
because
bunch of
after that, remake.
Yeah.
remake. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other scenes that stuck out to me in either of these ones. I mean, I think we kind of already talked about them, but definitely the meat hook one
Ugh.
is very iconic, and I like that one.
I was watching it earlier, and when Courtney happened to walk in, as he was like putting her on the fucking hook, and she was like, "Oh my god, what are you watching?" I'm like,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
My favorite scene from the original is the end. She gets
Oh
away.
yeah,
She gets away in a truck. He's
she's
wearing a
laughing
tuxedo.
maniacally and
Mhm.
everything.
I was just waiting for it to be like fucking someone in on it and just stop.
Yeah.
him.
But
lo-
like the thing that makes that so cool to me is that he's been chasing her. They've been up all night going like chasing each other, trying to kill her or whatever. She finally gets away. He's in his tux, ready for dinner, with like his face and makeup on.
Yeah.
She gets away, and he knows not only that he's not going to get to kill her, but also that there's a witness escaping.
Yeah,
The temper tantrum with the chainsaw is just so fucking cool.
I don't think we get any closure on the truck driver either. I think he just fucking runs away for eternity. Yeah. He's like, I'm out of here, dude. Fuck my truck.
To this day.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, like, they kind of like did that with the remake, but not as well, in my opinion. Like, yeah, his arm gets chopped off, and he's still swinging it, but the original definitely has a better closing than I think the remake.
There's that little.
Yeah.
The original, yeah, because it's kind of I almost feel bad for Leatherface.
Yeah, same.
That's his dinner right there.
It's like he was working so hard. He got everybody else besides this one girl.
Just
God
like the
damn it.
dread. I feel like the dread he would feel like it's somebody escaping after everything they've seen.
Yeah,
Like, they've been in the house.
And it's like, we got to move now, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say I can relate with it, but you can relate with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's such a good. I haven't watched it. I'll be honest. I didn't even watch it to prepare for this. I watched like some YouTube synopsis because I just never had the time.
That's what we did too. I watched the
Cool.
the whole original one because I love that one a lot. But the remake, I just went and watched some like not comparisons, but I watched the kill count on it and just some people just talking about like points that were either better or worse than it was in the original, and that's kind of like what I did. Because like from memory, I pretty much remember both of these movies well enough to talk about them.
Same.
And,
I've seen them both a ton of times.
Yeah. So they're definitely films I can go back and watch again, and I know there's a lot of other people who talk pretty highly of the TCM remake, even though they do like the original, but they would recommend this one more than like any other remakes that were made.
It's more appealing to the masses, I feel like.
Yes.
Leatherface is a character that I just always want more of. Like, I would love more. Like,
oh my god. Dr. Hark, that's really fun. Sorry, but he said that we need a sequel for TCM with a truck driver running away forever. I love that with Leatherface is behind him the whole time.
The whole movie is just him chasing him down the road.
He's halfway across the country, just like constantly looking out his mirrors.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. It's Forrest Gump right now.
That's great.
That's great,
man.
But yeah, I would have liked for, and I think they tried, but the remake, I would have liked for more to come out of that. I would have liked a better, or I think they did do an origin movie, but it
wasn't that great.
Was it 3D or was that was the New Beginning, right? Or the beginning?
Was it? I don't know, because I know it's this one. I think New Beginning was before this, and it was this one that caught everybody's attention, and then I think it was 3D, and then there was one more.
3D was not a good movie.
Because I know that there was one that.
I know they did. They made 2 or 3.
Oh no, the New Beginning came after this one because New Beginning was 2006. So it was New Beginning and then 3D. But what was there was one that happened before.
Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw.
No.
3.
No.
There was a movie just called Leatherface, wasn't there?
Yeah, that was a newer one, I think, though.
Yeah.
Not part of this like little timeline.
Second one.
I don't think so.
Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Oh my god. I love how it's now giving us Friday the 13th stuff. Like, I don't want Friday the 13th. Let me look up. What year was Leatherface?
Oh, it's right here.
What year? Yeah, that was
2017.
2017. So, I know there was one definitely before, but I don't remember. But, yeah, I just remember the ones after the remake were just not that great. They were okay, but it's just like I'm not going to go back and watch them again like I can with the original or the remake. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the remake that really stood out to me. I think
the sheriff is a lot more like of an asshole.
Yeah, definitely. I
When
mean,
he's like has them on the ground, he's like fucking shooting near their heads and shit.
I kind of like when they stumble upon the shop or the gas station with the old lady, and they see like all the pigs like rotten and the flies everywhere. I really like that scene. That's what really stuck out to
It's
me.
little details like that, yeah.
Yeah, because that's like more what I wanted to see, especially if they're trying to remake it and kind of compare it to the original, because the original had a lot of that stuff, a lot of like bones and nasty shit everywhere, and
yeah, just like little background things that set the mood and set the tone of it. Yeah.
And one thing I know the remake was trying to do, because Jessica Biel was hot at the time and she was into everything, it's like, we're gonna get her wet as many fucking times as we can. Okay?
I can't hate it. I can't hate on it.
It's like, it's good, but it's just like, why do you have to do it like 5 times?
Man,
like,
that basement was cold too.
Yeah. I mean, like, she's still really good looking. I don't know what she's done lately, but I know that was a big highlight of her career, because that made a lot of people like pay more attention to her, especially with all the fucking wet scenes and everything. I mean, she definitely could have done.
I thought she did really well in the remake.
Yeah.
I like the climax to the remake too. It's a lot longer than the 74, where
for sure.
They end up in like the meat factory, and then they end up near the highway.
Yeah.
Just like I like how a little bit more. There's so many times too where it's like you think that like it's gonna be over, and it just doesn't.
Just keeps going.
Yeah. I like that amount of struggle, because it's I mean, what are you gonna do if you're a 120-pound woman and a giant hulking gargantuan with a chainsaw is chasing you? Like
I'm gonna give myself to you. Here you go.
That's what I like about it, is the relatability to the situation. Like, when you can put yourself, like, that's one of the reasons I like the wheelchair character in the first one, because how the fuck are you gonna get away from?
He's the first one gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, he's not.
I like those types of situations, and if there were to be more Texas Chainsaw movies, I would like it to be focused on creating the situations that you can easily put yourself in and just be like, this is terrifying. Like, there's no way out of this.
I can definitely relate to that. I like things that I can relate to a certain extent and make it feel more personal.
Like you're in this situation almost.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of horror movies out there that's just kind of made for the fun of it, but when there's one that's really grasping at you, it's like, dude, this could be me tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? It's like what really scares me
like,
personally.
Fade to Black, anybody can just fucking be obsessed with horror movies and then go crazy one day and be like, you know what, I'm gonna reenact all these and just fucking kill people,
Yeah, go check out that review.
All the time too, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's when, for me, that's when horror's at its best. Like, I like supernatural horror movies, but being somebody who doesn't believe in anything supernatural, it never scares me enough, like, that it's enjoyable. It's just always kind of like, it's kind of hokey to me. But like, when it comes to like I said before, like, Leatherface could be a real thing. It could be a real person. That's what scares me. So
when it gets you thinking, like, this shit could actually happen to me. That's when it gets almost real. Yeah,
for sure. And I do love my cheesy horror movies, and
I love bad horror movies just as much as I love
Shopping Mall.
We've definitely covered a lot of them on this podcast.
Wolf Cop.
But then, like, we haven't even been doing this for like a year now, and I feel like we've covered so much. Even with us taking like a month off for like mental health issues and everything.
Yeah.
We've gone so far.
A lot of that going around lately. It has to be the pandemic.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Troll 2.
Oh my god, the Troll movies. Don't even get me started on those.
Bad 3.
Oh no. Scorpion, did we lose your audio? That's
it's a Scream movie? Oh, I didn't know that.
Go.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh no, what happened?
For some reason, I just built this PC, and for some reason, like, my mics disconnect randomly, so I have to keep.
That's all good. Technical difficulties.
My favorite bad horror movie is the one where Bill Goldberg is Santa Claus.
Oh, is that?
I can't remember what it's called.
It's not Silent Night, Deadly Night, is it? There's another one. There's so many Santa Claus movies out there. I'm trying to freaking think.
Who was it?
Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg is Santa Claus, but he's also a serial killer.
Shit. I think I know
God damn it,
exactly
what's
what
it
you're
called?
talking about too.
It's
He was in the
so.
Longest Yard.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Santa's Sleigh.
Santa's Sleigh. Yeah.
Yeah,
what it's
that's
called.
what it is. I was like, I
It's
know
so
what
bad.
it is.
It's
Ah.
so awful. His lines are the level of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Batman and Robin.
Oh man,
They're so bad.
there's a lot of like really cheesy movies like that that I watched growing up. I mean, Jack Frost was like one of the ones I watched.
Oh my God,
The
Jack
Killer
Frost.
Snowman, like that one sticks out to me so much. Cause like back when like Blockbusters were open and stuff, and we would go and get a movie every Friday, and
Yep.
and it was around Christmas time, and they had all the Christmas movies out, and
I wanna watch a Christmas
they didn't
movie.
have the new Jack Frost. They had that Jack Frost. So we're like, oh, this looks kind of cool. I mean, the cover had like a like a demonic like snowman on it, but
Oh,
like
that looks neat.
but my stepfather and me, because we went to go get it, we brought it home. We're like, oh, this is going to be fun. It's like this nice Christmas movie. And we're just like, what the hell is this shit? I'm like maybe like 11, 12, and I'm just like, what? What? What is going on?
It's like when you're a kid trying to watch Happy Tree Friends thing. It's a fucking kid's
Oh my
cartoon.
God.
yeah.
The
I
first
know.
time I saw Happy Tree Friends, like it fucked with me so
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
not ready.
No, nobody ever is.
Another one that I really like a lot that I've actually watched a lot was House, not the Japanese House, the one where a guy who like inherits a home from his aunt because she like killed herself, and he has like a lot of like PTSD because he was in the war, and I think his son drowned or something like that, and at the end like his sergeant comes through like the door as like a skeleton. He is dressed up in like an army clothes and everything. It's really really good. If you haven't seen that one, you go watch it. I think there's 2 sequels to it, but it's called House, and it's very very good. It's a good 80s cheese movie.
My favorite cheesy horror movie. I don't know how cheesy they are, but they're less popular. I loved Ghost Ship. It's an early 2000s.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
I
Yep.
love that movie because it was the first movie that had Mudvayne on a soundtrack, and I was so
There you
fucking
go.
excited for them. And then the other one I really liked was 13 Ghosts, which
That one-
might
The remake or
might
the
be a
original?
guilty- I didn't know there was a remake,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of upset that there is one. I don't think it
Yeah,
needs
the
a remake.
original one was in the 60s, and the remake one.
Oh, okay.
So the
Holy
one that you're
shit.
talking about is the remake, yeah.
I didn't know there
Oh,
was
so I thought it
a
was a-
original.
Yeah, everybody's definitely have seen the remake, but there is an original. So for those of you who don't know that the 13 Ghosts,
nice.
and I think it was the early 2000s, around the same time as this, there is an original 13th
Oh,
Ghost.
you just blew my fucking.
How is it? How is that? Is
It's
is it
good.
worth a
It's
watch?
not obviously it's not anything really compared to the remake. It's not as bloody and shit, but the story is really really good. It's still they both pretty much say the same story, but it's definitely worth watching. I think it might be on Shudder. So
I need to get Shudder. I have
do.
not watched. I haven't watched horror movies in so
Shudder
long.
is really good. There's a really good show on it right now, which I didn't know there was more seasons to it, but it's called Slasher Flesh and Blood, and it's very
Wow.
good. And it's got David
Okay.
Cronenberg in it as an actor. So I
5
mean,
years old. Holy shit.
5 years old when he saw the Texas Chainsaw. Holy fuck! I'm so old.
What?
I'm sorry, sir.
The Thing, dude. The Thing is a great. I'm
Which-
gonna have to be here every week with you
Oh.
guys.
But which thing are you talking about? You're not talking about the second
The
remake,
original
right?
or the remake?
Or the original.
remake.
Or are you
I'm
talking
talking
about?
an underrated.
Are you talking about
horror
John
movie.
Carpenter's remake, or are you talking about the 2013 remake that was god awful?
The Carpenter one is the best, hands
Ah.
down.
Yes.
Carpenter.
But a PlayStation 2 game that flies under the radar is The Thing. It's a
Yep, I remember
really
that
good
one. I
game.
never
It's a
played it
game.
though.
So
yeah.
good.
Based
Totally
on like
worth
the
playing.
movie? Or...
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
All right, so the John Carpenter's the thing. Okay, thank God. If you said the one that was the newer one, I would have to go and slap you.
Oh, it's a
I don't care. I really don't care. It's not good at all. Avoid it like the plague.
I'm
But
so behind on all this stuff.
dude, I'm telling
Me
you, if you
too.
go on Shudder, come listen to
Well, yeah.
us.
Absolutely.
So for anybody who is new, especially in the chat, these will be released tonight for Patreon. So if you guys want the audio and video versions early, all you gotta do is pledge like $1, and you guys can do that. And then tomorrow it gets released to the world, to everywhere else. It'll be on here, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. So
you really need to hear our beautiful voices the night of.
yeah,
It only costs $1.
you know you're listening to it now, but I mean, hey, you can have it forever.
Whatever you want.
I don't know if there's anything else I want to touch on either of these movies, but if you guys have anything else you want to talk about for these, or anything outside of the box, we can go on
Chat's
for a little
open.
bit longer. And
I do have one thing I want to ask you guys about.
go right ahead.
I have never seen Suspiria.
Oh no, really? You
I've
have to
been
watch
wanting-
it.
Okay, I've been wanting to see it, but I just haven't.
Don't watch the remake. Don't watch.
Yeah,
the
watch
remake.
the
I don't want
original.
to watch the remake. I want to see the
Yes,
original.
Suspiria
It's-
is very, very close to our hearts. So if you guys want to listen to that review, either before or after you watch the movie, we have covered it on here. Aaron and I both watched this together for our first Salem Horror Fest,
Watched it
in a
many times
theater.
since then.
and it was great. And I own the 4K version of it, and I've watched it millions of times, and it is beautiful. If you love colorful films, this is like the last like official Technicolor film, and it is great.
Can you
It's
briefly
very
tell
well
me-
done.
Briefly tell me what it's about, because
Oh.
I've seen that it's like, I've seen a lot of people say it's like the best horror movie ever made.
Witches, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Witches,
Witches and
dances,
bitches.
and witches.
Yeah, you gotta just kind of go into it and
It's a giallo, almost kind of like a giallo. The second one is more of an Italian giallo film. So I'm gonna say, like, if anybody has seen Malignant, Malignant steals a little bit of stuff from those films, and I do want to do a review on Malignant soon. If you guys haven't seen it, I believe it's still on HBO Max, and it'll be there until I think September 30th. So Scorpion, if you haven't seen that one and you like kind of cheesy movies, not that this movie is really cheesy, but it throws a lot of new shit at you. And if you like originality, James Wan. I mean, if you've seen the Conjuring movies, you kind of know what he's done and whatnot.
have seen the
And if you've
Conjuring
seen like the Saw movies, you know what he's done because he started Saw. But
Saw's
this
good too.
movie throws everything into the blender and creates its own new thing. So
Okay.
it's definitely something you need to see, and it's what everybody is talking about, and I've seen it 5 times. I'm not even kidding, and it just came out. It's that good. So
the
yes.
Suspiria, I recommend
Yes.
just going with as little information as possible, honestly. But it's about witches and
Yes.
like
And Goblin, the people who did the music, who is an actual band in Italy who's done a lot of work with Dario Argento and some other Italian filmmakers, is very, very good. If you can look up, I would say right now after the stream, go look up the Suspiria album and just listen to the music, and that will definitely give you a feel of what you're going to be getting yourself into. So
I'm definitely gonna watch more horror movies. I definitely decided just now, because like there's so
Yes.
much that I haven't seen.
there is a lot,
oh, yeah,
and
me too.
there's
And I'm a
still
huge fan. It's just I can't find time to watch movies.
I feel that,
Like,
dude.
I'm with
And that's why I love Shudder a lot, is because like they have so much stuff on there, and they're always adding stuff. They just put on Pumpkinhead, which is my favorite creature feature ever, and
I like
it's
Pumpkinhead
on
as a
there.
kid.
So, and you can add things to your list. So if you watch something, it's literally the Netflix of horror. So
Right.
and it's
Do you
like
guys have
$6.
a discount code for Shudder?
No, and that's
Holy
something
shit.
that I would love to get, but it's
I
like
thought I saw that you guys did.
no, I wish we did. That's something I want to work towards. And with anybody who listens to us, you guys help us reach goals for getting actual sponsors. The only thing that's sponsoring us right now is Anchor, which is the platform that we distribute our podcast from. So we
Okay.
get a little bit of stuff from that. But we're working towards Liquid Death right now. And we obviously turned Scorpion onto Liquid Death and
I would
a
love
couple
to
others.
get Liquid Death on board with me as well.
Yeah, dude, just reach out to them. I'll send you the email because
Probably just send you free shit.
yeah, they sent me an email. I'll give it to you so you can reach out to them. I know you have a
Okay.
pretty good base right now, and they might actually sponsor you. They
That'd be
have
sick.
actually. I gotta message them again, and see if they will reach back out and see what happens. But we're working on that. Shutter's another one we want to work towards, and I thought there was another one that we're working towards, but I don't remember what the hell it is. Was it the Bones coffee, or was
Yeah,
or was it
Bones.
liquid, or was it the coffee of death? Crap.
No, it was Bones.
It was, yeah. So Bones. I don't know if you guys like the No Bones coffee stuff. We're huge like coffee addicts over here, so that's another thing we like to do. But for anybody who listens or talks about our podcast and shares that, you guys help us reach these goals, and especially with Scorpion 2, I know you're trying to get some stuff on your channel as well. So any
Always
support,
trying to get anything. Yeah.
any support. I mean, it's not about the money for us. It's more about just letting other people know, like, hey, we have knowledge on this stuff too. Just come in, listen to us, give us a shot, and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially like we said earlier, for anybody who loves horror, you don't have to be someone who creates horror. If you just watch horror movies and there's one that you really, really like and you want to come on and talk about it like we did today with these two movies, it's usually, obviously it could be more focused with one film, but I like the kind of discussing two and seeing like which one's better or worse, or just like, hey, which one do we enjoy more, is really, really fun. So I mean,
I like the two.
yes, and we are going to be continuing our Camp series with, I think we're doing this week, which is going to be really fucking fun. We're doing Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and we're dressing
I
up.
love that. Oh
We're
my
we're,
God,
dra-
it's so
we're
good.
dressing up as the clowns. Actually, I'll be right back, Aaron, if you want to entertain. I'm gonna go grab a
I haven't seen Killer Clowns yet, so this is gonna be the first time I've seen it.
Dude, it's so. I think it's so bad it's good.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
Hang on, hold this for a second.
it's so weird.
And
It-
we got Shorty over here. So I mean, thank you to Spirit Halloween for having all the costumes this year, because that's what we're doing. I have
Nice.
Shorty and I have Spiky, so we're gonna be doing those this Saturday is what we're gonna be working towards. But what's really cool is that Amazon actually bought the rights for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, so they're actually going to do the TV show that was talked about years and years and years ago. Yes, and they're gonna be doing a prequel to where all these guys came from.
Oh,
So
that's
I
so
cannot
cool.
wait. And I don't
That's
know
awesome.
if the Charnas brothers are gonna be part of it. I hope they are, because I want to see their special effects and I want their writing involved.
You should do that for Hellraiser with all the Cenobites.
Oh, we're doing Hellraiser too.
Yeah, we are doing Hellraiser. That's, I think.
Not next week, but the week after.
No, I think we're doing a double feature next week, because we're doing. I'm pretty sure we're putting
Hellraiser
Hellraiser
is
during
an
the week.
additional one, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We have our schedule up everywhere, but we're always like, what are we doing
We
next?
never memorize it though.
So
I think I'm gonna start watching horror movies in my Discord.
do it. And if you ever have any questions about like, hey, what the hell should I watch?
Yes,
Just message me. Just message me. And
For
I'll
sure,
let you
dude.
guys know.
You're always more than welcome to come on the show too.
Yeah, whenever you want to come on again,
I would love to. I wish I could do this every week. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really fun to just kind of like sit down and just talk, even though if we're not like really going towards a specific thing. But I love having people just come on and just shoot the shit. Like our first guest that we had, Dina the Dead Hot Sauce from the UK, super awesome dude, and that was really, really fucking stressful, because we're like, this is our first guest, we don't know what we're doing, and you can hear how like shaky we are and everything. But now he's like a super like close friend to us, and he's actually going to be coming on again. So that's another thing that's really cool with streaming and doing these podcasts, and like even like doing like drum streams and stuff, is you can reach everywhere, make
It's
friends
crazy.
everywhere.
I have so many people through drum streaming that like I never thought I would ever meet. It's crazy. Like I've played Amon Amarth for the drummer from Amon Amarth.
That's awesome.
I've Logan LK Drums was the touring drummer for Fair to Midland, which is a very little known, like I guess proggy rock band. They're really out there and weird, but I love their music, and they like put out like 2 or 3 albums and then just disappeared. And I remember finding out that LK was their touring drummer, and I was like, holy shit, that is so crazy.
And you know what's really funny? He's actually going to be coming on discussing Halloween with us next month,
Dude,
so he will be
Logan
on.
is so cool. Yeah,
He's
that'll be a
obsessed with
blast.
Halloween just as much as I am, so I cannot wait to dig into this.
That's awesome. Yeah, dude, I've been there too. And then I also used to run a wrestling podcast like many years ago.
You should do that again when you can
I
find
don't
time.
have time. It's really hard, and actually, wrestlers are not the best people to try to book, because a
Oh,
lot of
trust
them,
me.
like past their prime wrestlers want to get paid to go on a podcast. It's like, I'm not
Yeah, no, I ran into that a
It's
few
like, I'm trying to keep you
times.
relevant.
Because
Yeah,
there's like
right.
a couple of actors that I wanted to get on here, but like I had to talk to their agency, and they're like, "Yeah, we need money up front if you want them to come and speak on the podcast for 50 hours." I'm like, why? Like these people have been around for so long. You think they have enough money already, and they go to horror conventions and stuff. Like I don't want to name names of who these people are,
Don't,
but it's
yeah.
just like,
Go up and they charge $50 for an autograph. It's crazy.
yeah, it's like I understand when you're at the convention, yeah, I'll give you some money for that. But if you, I just want you to come on and just discuss something. Like I don't know why words need like some sort of value or whatever.
I had good experiences too, though. I made friends with Rick Steiner, Ahmed Johnson, just a lot of kind of retired dudes. Rhino was one. Trying to think, so many, like a lot of the ECW guys.
Okay.
I got to talk to.
That's really cool. Good
Yeah, that was cool
experiences.
too. But yeah, I remember the first one I talked to was Ahmed Johnson. And I had like this I had an indie wrestler that I was friends with that was like a big Ahmed Johnson fan, and he didn't know Ahmed Johnson was going to be on the show. So my plan was to call him and act like we were interviewing him, and then just have Ahmed Johnson show up in the middle of the call.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
But I was so nervous that it felt completely flat because I just like,
Yeah, and that's
was
how
like,
we feel about some of our stuff too. Yeah.
yeah. So it takes time, but like I don't know. I think it's just realizing that those people are people too. But it's still like even somebody like Samus, like
Yep.
I've been a fan of Samus was like the drummer that made me think like, dude, I want to stream drums on Twitch. And I was a mod for him. But like having him like in my channel rating me was like, whoa, like fucking it's I don't know. I love that feeling though. I think that's cool that you guys are getting that with this podcast. I'm excited. I love it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's something that I've didn't really think about doing until really the pandemic and doing some like other streaming stuff, and I'm like, well, this streaming isn't really working for me, mainly because I'm not doing what I love, and like
Yeah.
I was so scared of everything growing up, especially horror movies. Like Halloween scared the shit out of me, and that's my favorite movie ever. I could not go into haunted houses. Now I go into haunted houses all the fucking time. I go into one tonight. So like I at an early age I was so afraid, but I also really faced my fears later on in my teen years, and now I just can't stop living, breathing, and eating horror. You know, so like
I feel it.
doing this is so fun, and especially with Aaron, who doesn't really know a lot of horror, and that's why I wanted him to be on here. Not just because he's my best friend, is also because I'm teaching him while teaching other people about certain things, and especially with us like watching the movies and we're writing down our notes and we're dissecting them, and he'll be like, oh, like who is this person? I'm like, oh, this person did this movie, and this movie. He's like, oh really, I gotta go watch those now.
I'm always learning new stuff from this guy. And like,
So I'm just trying to pass knowledge from what I know or anything that I love to other people, so that they can feel kind of inspired and to go and do something or watch something and be like, if this guy can like get over being scared shitless of watching, even like Edward Scissorhands scared the crap out of me as a kid, especially the opening scene with him coming out from the back and like he just comes
like
into the
that.
light. That scene is forever embedded into my brain as the scariest thing I've ever seen, until I went to haunted houses, and I couldn't do it. Like I had to stay outside with my mom. I think I talked about this last week, but I literally like, would go to like the spooky world and stuff like that, and like the actors are walking around, and like I would be with my mom, my stepfather, and my sister, and my sister and my stepfather would go into houses. My mom would want to go, and I'm like, I can't do it. I'll just be crying the whole night for 3 or 4 hours,
damn.
scared shitless. And now I'm just like, bring it on, bitch, bring it on.
Have you seen The Houses October Built?
I have, and I love that movie.
So good, dude. I love that.
Like that's like, I think probably when I was younger, that's what I was thinking was gonna happen to me. You know,
Yeah.
just be like, I'm gonna get kidnapped and I'm gonna be killed.
I love that movie. That was so trippy for me because when I was a kid, I was really afraid. I was curious, like I wanted to watch horror movies, but I also because my parents were super into it. But like I would, and you talked about Blockbuster. One of my favorite things about going to Blockbuster was just walking down the horror aisle and looking at all
Oh,
the
same.
artwork.
All the
'Cause I mean,
covers, like, oh, this looks sick, but I'm gonna be scared shitless watching this, man.
What is that? Like, what? The one I remember most distinctly, I don't even know what movie it was, but there's a hand with like an eyeball in the hand. I don't think it's a super popular movie, but that freaked me out. And then there was one with like a pair of teeth with like eyeballs on it. Like, it was just really dumb.
Oh,
shit,
that's
like,
Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. Yes, that movie sucks.
Dead Alive or what is it called overseas? Not Brain Damage, because that's a different one. I think it's just called Brain Dead, is what it's called in like overseas. But yeah, here it's Dead Alive. That's for the longest time the goriest movie ever made.
Yeah, but it's almost like cheesy. How
Oh, it's so I kick ass for the Lord and shit like that, with like the priest like kicking off like zombie heads and stuff, and the lawnmower with the guy going into all the zombies and just like eating them up. It's great.
The movie that scared me the most, though, in like a scene I'll never get out of my head, is Pet Cemetery.
Okay, yeah.
Two scenes. The when Gage gets hit by the truck,
And then also as a father, I can't watch that anymore.
and then the other scene is the woman that has MS is like
The
laying
sister?
on the floor. Yes.
Oh yeah.
That fucked me. I saw that when I was like probably
That's-
like 4 years old.
That's still
and
in my
still-
mind almost
I can't
every
not
single
say-
day.
I can't watch that scene. Like, when I watch that movie, I like, that's the one movie that I have to like kind of just can't look at it.
The one
Like,
scene
it
in that
scares the
movie
fuck
that
out of me.
that always guts me is the Achilles heel. Like, when he slices it with the
Oh,
fucking
God.
razor blade.
Yep. Gage,
And
why?
believe it or not, though, you know what movie always fucking petrified me as a kid was Signs.
Yeah, I can see how Signs would be one, especially with the.
And I don't even think it was technically a horror movie either. Like, it was more.
No, it
like
was a
sci-fi.
thriller because
Yeah.
it was M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. So yeah.
But like, I don't know, the fucking aliens terrified me as a kid, and like now it's like I love the idea of like just you know, there's life out there. Oh shit.
Yep.
I like alien
Excited.
stuff a lot. Alien stuff scares me too, because it's like it's
It
entirely
could be out there,
possible.
you know.
Yeah. But Signs got ruined for me. I'm not a big Mel Gibson fan, first of all, and then second of all, I think I saw the Scary Movie parody before I saw that.
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah,
It just was like, it just was kind of silly after that. Yeah.
with Michael Jackson in the beginning. Oh man,
Those
those are
movies.
movies I need to go back and watch again. The scary
We'll have to do
movies.
like a scary movie month or something.
Yeah, and I
They're
do
so
want to
good.
start doing like movie nights with people like here on Twitch. I just Amazon hasn't really been having a lot of good selection lately, and that's what's bothering me. So I might, if we do it, might be over on Discord. I'm
Yeah.
not
We
really
just post
active
it
on Discord that much, but or what we could do is like a just chatting. I don't know if you would get in trouble for this on Twitch, a just chatting, but having a movie play, but you just in a just chatting. I don't know if that would work
They
or
might
not.
catch on to that.
You could only do it if it's on Amazon Prime. I think that's
Okay.
the only way Twitch will allow you to do it.
Okay. Damn it. Because like I wasn't gonna show it on screen, but this would be us like
Oh,
talking.
off screen, yeah.
Yeah,
If the
off
movie's
screen.
not on screen, yes, you can do that.
So that might be something that we might set aside
Yeah,
coming the new year
Yeah.
when we rework our schedule and everything and see how work is going. Because there's a lot of things I want to do and I want Aaron to be part of it, but a lot of it it's kind of hard to do just because Aaron's schedule is like ridiculously crazy at work.
50 hours a week.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
I've been
so
there.
so he sets this night aside for us to kind of do stuff. So I don't know.
We'll get to it.
There's a lot of good stuff that I want to do with you guys, and I'm also there was something that was supposed to happen this year, but I guess I'll announce it here. As it was supposed to happen next month, as I'm in the middle of writing an actual like script, a horror script that I want to happen on the podcast at some point, and I want everything to kind of play live. I'm not gonna let anybody know when it happens, or
Is it going to be like a voice acted kind of?
it's gonna be shit. Okay, I'm gonna go into this because I'm not gonna tell anybody when it's gonna happen. But the premise of this is that I don't know if anybody has seen crap. What's the movie Aaron based off of?
I know which one you're talking. You told me
Fucking
about
the
it.
one that just came
The one
out.
that's like on FaceTime.
Yeah, shit. How am I blanking on this? Sorry guys. One second. I gotta figure it out what it is.
Unfriended?
No, it's
No.
on Shudder. Shit. Fuck. but it's a Host. Host is what it's called.
Oh.
So it's a Shudder original that came out during the pandemic that was filmed all through Zoom from people being spaced away from each other. But I have an idea of doing a spin-off of that, and what it's going to happen is it's going to be kind of episodic, which means that every podcast something is going to happen. So it's going to happen live. And I have a lot of stuff that's going to I have planned out in my head that I need to get on paper and then also kind of execute. But there's going to be a lot of crazy shit happening. I don't want to go into details about everything that's going to happen, but I just think the whole live element of people seeing it happen, and also I have guests that were previously on here that are also going to be part of it. So things that happen here are going to carry over to their project.
I would love to have a part in that.
You want to be a part of it?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, Scorpion, I think I told you about that a couple of months ago. Maybe. Did I?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't remember. I mean, I have so much shit.
But yeah, so I'm going to be at some point holding a conversation with everybody of okay, what do you want to happen? So if you want to be part of this, you're part of it. I'll write you down on the side and get my notes together. But that's what I'm in the middle of writing right now. So
that's awesome. I like that.
Yep. So it's going to be bloody, okay? It will be bloody, and it's going to happen here. So I was going to make sure Twitch is going to be okay with it. So I might have to email some people.
You have to be careful. You have to be careful about blood. If I hit my knuckles on my snare or cymbal, I constantly am like, shit.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be good. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be good. But I think that's pretty much all that we have to talk about tonight. Unless Scorpion, is there anything that you want to address, talk about anything that's happening on your stream or anything like that, and where you want people to find you? I know we kind of talked about it in the beginning, but if there's anything you want to reiterate or anything like that, or just talk about it again, go right ahead.
Yeah, just come to my Twitch. Twitch is my primary form of social media. I'll be more active on other platforms, but my Twitch is twitch.tv/SkorpionBLS with a K. All my other stuff's there, but I'm pretty much focused on drum streaming for the most part now. If you like theatrics, I do that stuff. It's a very loose environment. Pretty much the rules of my chatter don't violate TOS.
Yes.
So yeah, I try to keep it very open and very, I don't know, it's free to talk about anything. We talk a lot about mental health stuff and sexual things that are kind of taboo in mainstream conversation.
It's always entertaining over there, I promise.
We talk about politics a lot. I talk about politics a lot. Other people don't really engage me much, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a free environment where you talk about whatever, and we just have fun. It's just a weird, fun place to share music, and I play every genre. It doesn't. I think a lot of people come to my channel and they're like, "Oh, this is a metal place." It's not the case at all. I play everything.
Yes.
So yeah, come on over. I mean, everybody's welcome, and the more the merrier. And I love making new friends that share my passion for music and things that are weird.
All right. And I always try to tune in as much as I can. I know Aaron was in there a little bit today, I believe. So
I'm glad Aaron stopped by because I don't think I've ever gotten to talk to Aaron at all. So it was cool to have him.
Yeah, he's usually in the shadows a lot. So more than most of us, but that's okay.
No, that's cool too. Yeah.
But yeah, this was a super fun time, and I'd love to have you on again. If there's any other ideas you want to do about this, or if there's anything that I throw at you that you're like, hey, I want to be part of that, just let me know.
Feel free if you have anything that you think I'd be good for. Let me know.
Yeah, I think probably after late November, our schedule is probably going to be wiped clean because next month is going to be crazy as shit.
Yeah.
Because we're covering Salem Horror Fest and all the Halloween movies that we're doing. Then I'm going away at the end of October, so it's gonna be super duper crazy. It's gonna be so much shit. Matt is joining. Hello, Matt. How's it going, man?
What's up, Matt?
Scurf.
So yeah, if you guys love all the Halloween movies, we're going through every single one of them: the good, the bad, the ugly. So if anybody's out there listening right now and you guys want to be part of that, you want to come on for an episode, go right ahead. We've already covered the first Halloween, but we're just kind of going over it again. We're going to be having our host, Logan, come on, LK Drums, come on and talk a little bit of his knowledge on that. And Scorpion, I would love to have you on for maybe H2O. Is that the one you said you wanted to do?
It's my favorite Halloween movie, yeah.
Okay, well, I will definitely get to you on the schedule on that because I'm actually writing that one. I don't think I have it planned out yet, but I'm writing it this week because we're getting towards the end of September already, which is absolutely crazy.
This year went by so quick.
And but what's going to be really cool before we end this, I want to let everybody know too that during Salem Horror Fest, I am going to be doing videos. I'm going to be trying to interview people that I'm able to interview. There's no guests this year, but I want to talk about some, maybe get with some of the filmmakers if they're there. I want to get with the creator Kay. I want to talk to her and just kind of like
just people there, just attending, you know.
And some of the shops that are really there, that are really cool. Like Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery is absolutely awesome. They have like it pretty much takes you through the ages. They have wax figures of all the iconic horror figures. Like they have Predator there, Alien, American Werewolf in London. They have so much shit there, and it's really really cool.
Dracula.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
And that's stuff that's going to be happening next month. The videos might not come out immediately, but our plan is for at the end of every weekend, because it's the weekends, we're just going to do a full recap here. So instead of us covering a movie, we're probably just going to do a recap of that, and maybe a movie. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much our plan going forward. And Scorpion, thank you so much for being here. It was really good to actually be face to face, quote unquote, and actually like talk one-on-one, because like obviously you don't really get to talk to people like this in chat. So it's really cool to actually like talk, you know, and this, you know, it's not about like what you're doing, but just shooting the shit. So
I had so much fun, dude. Thank you guys for asking me to be on.
Yeah.
And also, I gotta give you guys a shout out, guys. If you're a guest on this podcast, and I'm assuming this is going to be treatment for everybody, right? Like
yes, yep, it's going to be for everybody.
You get a case of Liquid Death, and a T-shirt. So
yeah,
definitely be on the podcast. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's worth it. I promise. You can either get still or sparkling, whatever you want, and it's great. And hopefully the shirt's comfortable. I'm thinking about maybe switching the types of shirts, that like the quality of it. I don't know. Like to me it was comfortable, but I want to know how it feels on you. Is it
I wore it for my stream today. It was fine. I mean, I have so many different shirts. It doesn't even. I just
okay.
Put it on. I don't
well, if you're saying it's comfortable, then maybe I'll just keep it as it is, and maybe get like another option just in case. But there's a lot of stuff that we're playing around with, and there's a lot to edit and make sure things are good and whatnot.
I'd like to get the new logo and some shirts too.
Yeah, the new logo, which is absolutely awesome. I love all this. So
have you dropped the new logo shirt yet?
No, I'm actually going to be doing that this week because I actually have some free time this week, so I can actually start doing that. And I'll let everybody know as soon as it's live, and let you know where to find it and whatnot. But that was the Baron's Hideout podcast. I was your host, Dustin.
I was your co-host, Aaron.
And we had...
I'm SkorpionBLS!
Yeah, we had the pleasure of having this crazy motherfucker on, and we will definitely see him again. Thank you for...
The man who did this.
Oh, no. Debbie is over here gifting subs at the end. Thank you so much. I am so sorry if the audio killed everybody's ears. I don't think I have that one balanced out right. So for anybody who's listening to this post, I'm very, very sorry.
I got worried because I redeemed one minutes ago. I was really late. I'm like, I hope I didn't just stiffen everybody.
No, it's okay. But yeah, thank you for anybody in the chat. I'm sorry that we didn't really address you that much. I just like it for you guys to come over here and just have your own little conversations. If you do have anything you want to add at the end of these episodes, just chime in and just whatever you want. But yeah, thank you guys for resubbing, gift subbing, just coming in here and hanging. Scorpion, it was great hanging out with you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for
thank you
coming
so
on,
much, man.
It's a great time, dude. Thank you guys for having me.
And here we are closing it out. We'll see you guys next week for Killer Clowns and Hellraiser.
Awesome.
So thank you guys so much.